Decodification of the body. Farhad Bahram, Brian Gillis, Chelsea Thompto. Note: this is an instructional primer intended to provide access, orientation, and a preliminary introduction to the nonlinear experiential space that is this project. One can access this space directly by linking to https://decodificationofbody.glitch.me/ or by using the links in the description below. Decodification of the body centers the use of contemporary and emerging technologies to transform the determined correlation between the object of the body and its subjective reflection. These three artists, a trans woman, a Jewish man, and a Muslim man, explore the possibilities for decodifying the self as a subjective mechanism that is shaped by a series of immediate struggles, both in and outside of the body, which eventually presents the inability of the self to fully express its rightful image to others. Decodification of the body portrays a similar arithmetical relation between the unexpressed but intended schema of the self and the unintentionally expressed image of it through a conglomeration of first and third-person expressions of identity, which may or may not be tied to a physical body. Socio-cultural context, and/or the impact of perceptual biases of individuals and groups. By providing windows into lived, implied, and perceived experience, this project offers the opportunity for one body to consider the limits of its own knowledge about others and scales for appraising the body as an unplanned realization that is not fixed or predetermined by its nature. The virtual body you inhabit in https://decodificationofbody.glitch.me/ can be moved through the space by using W, for moving forward, S, moving backward, A, turning left, and D, turning right, or directional arrows on your keyboard. And your mouse or trackpad can be used to look around, in order to access testimonials about the lived experiences and identity of others.
I'm Farhad Bahram, and I taught art from 2015 to 2019 as an adjunct instructor at the University of Miami. After applying for 89 tenure-track positions in 2019, I started to work as an assistant professor of digital media production at Indiana State University. Here at ISU, I'm teaching different courses like visual communication, multimedia production, digital storytelling, new media theories, etc.
I'm Farhad Bahram, and though my base media is visual art, my works cross the boundaries of studio practice by involving performance, interactive installation, social practice, and new media theories.
Educator, public facilitator, and anonymous steward are blurred.
My distinctions include fellowships from the Illinois Arts Council,
in the United States, with particular focus on the systemic violences trans people experience. In my work, I resist making a spectacle of my body as a way to resist the hypervisualization of trans people in contemporary culture.
I got arrested and my only camera got confiscated. My cell phone's camera was broken and I didn't have money to buy a new camera. So I had to learn how to make art without a camera.
I'm Farhad Bahram, and since I left Iran in 2011 to pursue a graduate degree in photography at San Francisco Art Institute, and I never owned a camera through my education. In 2012, I moved to Oregon to study in another graduate program.
To say that anything else is true would be so far from the point. I didn't grow up in any kind of spiritual sense, but we ate the foods, we went to the places, and again, both outside the Jewish community and inside the larger community as a whole, I was always led to believe I was different. My name's Brian Gillis. One of the things that has contributed
Next, the artists will be speaking about some of their projects that relate to the use of technology in transforming the determined correlation between the object of body and its subjective reflection, and explore possibilities for decodifying the self as a subjective mechanism that is shaped by a series of immediate struggles, both in and outside of the body.
With everything that's been going on in our country in 2020, I thought I would talk briefly about a piece that I did in 2014 at
the idea of the body as an object where the body is performance. And specifically, I was thinking about a piece
is entitled Phase Room.
So this particular image that you're seeing is that physical network that people could connect to. Once people connected to the network, you can see kind of the progression of things from that connection to the
So
page that
Fred
they
was
were
a very
able to pull up
prominent
once they
figure
connected.
in the Black Panther.
Hello, my name
I'm
is
Farhad Bahram, and I taught art as a contemporary artist and educator
Working
working at the intersection of art and
very beginning.
technology.
No offense to engineers.
Object of our intended self. It experiences worldly matters while at the same time it is experienced as matter in the world. This phenomenological differentiation portrays the twofold structure of embodiment, to be a body, and to have a body. On one hand, our body enables us to observe and experience the world. Our body is both the subject and object of our intended self. It experiences worldly matters while at the same time, it is experienced as matter in the world. This phenomenological differentiation portrays the twofold structure of embodiment, to be a body, and to have a body. On one hand, our body enables us to observe and experience the world, and therefore it becomes the subject of perception. But on the other hand, our body is an observable object, out in the world, being experienced by us and others.
In the phenomenology of perception, Merleau-Ponty calls the latter perception of the body image, which is generated from a primarily visual understanding of the body as an external object. Additionally, he characterizes the former perception of the body as body schema, which emerges from our immediate knowledge of localization, size, and position within the space without being aware of it. Within this phenomenological comparison, the body is always an excess over itself. In another word, in order to exist, the body needs to continuously validate its image by attaching its schema to the external world out of itself.
However, in the conventional context of our culture, the body is usually considered as a predicative gesture that is fixed in time and space, for it solidifies a cultural identity into a single untouchable lexeme that is already digested by others prior to the process of social interaction. Similar to a book that supposedly reveals an intended message, a predefined text that only vouches for its own context.
Throughout this session, and by presenting their works, our panelists focused on the use of contemporary and emerging technologies for transforming this determined correlation between the object of body and its subjective reflection. They also explored the possibilities for decodifying the self as a subjective mechanism that is shaped by a series of immediate struggles, both in and outside of the body, which eventually presents the inability of the self to fully express its rightful image to others. Their work portrayed a similar arithmetical relation between the unexpressed but intended schema of the self and the unintentionally expressed image of it, which could eventually offer a scale for appraising the body as an unplanned realization that is not fixed or predetermined by its nature.
Finally, we want to acknowledge and thank those who supported and helped us in producing this session. Sage Vaughan, Josh Gillis, Steve Tawil, Stephanie Snyder, Leighton Carter, Amy Bume, Dulcie Bohm, Craig Lee, Ty Warren, Tom Lundberry, Katie Duffy, Frontera Supercomputer in Texas Advanced Computing Center, Microsoft David Desktop, Microsoft Zero Desktop, UK English Default, English USG, and English UK Female.